Testing, testing. Is the volume working? Yes, it is. Hello, guys. Um, Happy Friday. So, today for review, I want to start by giving you the lowdown for next week. So, on Monday next week, we're going to do another day of review. We'll cover the most recent stuff. On Tuesday, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to sign up for an individual meeting on Zoom where we can chat just on how you're doing, go over anything that you might still not understand or need help with um, before Wednesday, which is when I'm going to post up the final exam to be available to take. Um, you can take it anytime between Wednesday afternoon and Friday at 10 a.m. But be careful, because if you let that timer tick past 10 a.m., you can't take the exam. This is how college works. Um, there are strict timers on stuff, so make sure you find a good time to take it. Um, because you'll need to do it in one go. Other than that, sorry I still don't have my face cam. We've got some glitched out mess, but fortunately I think I should have music playing in the background right now. I'm gonna try out some really chill music in the background. Let me know if you guys like it, because if we're stuck doing this at any point in the fall, I'll keep using music. If it's just distracting though, let me know and I can cut it out. But let's start with going over just our basic definitions of our letters. Um, Transformations, right? These were our transformations. Does anybody remember what A can cause in a transformation? It can change two different things. For one, the most common was it would either give us a vertical stretch, and that was um, if A was bigger than 1, and then it could also be a vertical compression if A was a fraction. That was less than 1. In other words, if A is 2, it's a stretch. If A is 1/2, it's a compression. Um, Also, an important thing to remember is if A is negative, no, I'll do that later. H, I wrote minus H because it's x minus H in vertex form. What does H tell us? H tells us whether or not we have a horizontal shift, left, or right. And remember, with H, the reason I wrote that negative is you do the opposite of what it says. So if it's x plus 3, that would change to minus 3, so you go left. If it's x minus 3, that would change to plus 3, and you'd go right. K was how we determined a vertical shift up or down, and that plays by normal rules. If K is positive, it's up. If K is negative, it's down. Keep in mind, if you don't have an A, H, or a K in the problem, then you don't have to write that transformation. If you do have an A, H, or K in the problem, you do have to write it. Now the last little one I'm going to add in here is if A is negative, that means you reflect over the x-axis. If you remember, all that means is it turns upside down. So if you had a parabola that looked like that would mean it changes to look like that. Pause if you need to finish writing, and we will move right on. Here are some examples of exam problems. Pen doesn't like showing up very well on this camera. Here's an example. A parabola looks wider than usual. What transformation is happening? So in other words, we have a parabola that looks pretty fat. So what transformation might be saying that happened? Well, it's not a shift, because shifting just means it's moving. So it's probably a stretch or a compression. It looks like that parabola got stretched out a little bit, pulled out. So we know a vertical stretch makes it look skinny, right? A vertical stretch means you're stretching it vertically, making it taller and thinner. So vertical compression means we're pushing it down and squishing it, making it fatter. So that would be a vertical compression. Second example of a problem. A line moves up from 5 to 9. What transformation is happening? All right. Well, if it's moving from 5 to 9, how many up is it moving? So it moved 5, up to 6, up to 7, up to 8, and up to 9. It moved up 4. So I know it moved up 4. So what transformation is happening if something's moving up? That's a vertical shift up. So it went up 4. So it's a vertical shift up 4. Last example I have, a square root graph goes down instead of up. What transformation is happening? Usually a square root graph looks like that. I said, well, no, it's now going down instead of up. What's the transformation there? What flips a graph the opposite direction? That's a reflection. So A was negative. So you have a reflection over the x-axis. Whammo. Again, if you don't like these at all, Tuesday is your day to work with me one-on-one with that. And that will be required for you to at least meet for a couple minutes, everybody. Um, Even if it's just to say hi. Okay. So, here's the second thing I have for you today. It's just a big old graph. Hang on, I gotta sip my coffee. Ah, yum. Okay, so our generic graph, and we have a parabola, right? If you're thinking, hey, this looks like the graphs we did in Desmos when we did the coyote problem, you're right, that's exactly what this is. So, um, this is going to be an example of the coyote problem. Just a reminder, if we're looking for the initial height, the max height, when we hit the max height, and when we hit the ground, those are 4 different places on this graph, okay? The initial height, we want to look at the y-axis. The initial height is whenever it hits the y-axis. All right? That's the initial height. Whatever the y value is here, that's it. Now to find the max height, and when we hit the max height, we're going to be looking at this vertex point. Right? This is a point where we have h and k. The max height is k, and when we hit the max height is h. So if we can find that point, we find both these answers. When we hit the ground is wherever it comes down to hit the x-axis right here. Now, this is the same on every single coyote problem. No matter how I ask it, no matter where the parabola is, those are the points you're looking for. Sometimes the max height is the same as the initial height. Well, that's fine. Who cares? Okay? So please copy that down into your notes so you can be looking over it. Wonderful. So, your homework today is to sign up for a time on Tuesday. And you can also, there's a short assignment in Google Classroom. I don't want to overload you for the weekend. I know all your classes are probably starting to ramp up a little bit since exam time's coming up. So short assignment in Google Classroom, and there's another thing on Google Classroom for you to sign up for a time. With that, I bid you all adieu. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. God bless, and good luck. Bye.